Stress doesn't just feel bad, it physically changes your body, your hormones, your immune system, your brain, even your DNA. And most people are living in a low grade stress state so consistently that they've stopped recognizing it as a problem. I'm Heidi Lee, and this is the script that ties everything in this series together. Because stress is not just one health issue among many. It is the background condition that undermines every other health behavior you try to build. So understanding your nervous system is one of the most important things you can do for your long-term health. Go back to the basics. Your nervous system. Your automatic nervous system operates in two primary states. The sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode, it mobilizes energy, raises heart rate, releases cortisol and adrenaline, shunts blood to your muscles, and suppresses non-essential functions like digestion, immune response, and reproduction. It's designed for short-term survival. The parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, is where healing happens, where digestion, immune function, hormone balance, cellular repair, and deep sleep all occur. It requires a genuine sense of safety to activate. The problem is that the human nervous system evolved to respond to acute time-limited threats, a predator, a physical danger. It did not evolve for the chronic, low-grade, unrelentless stress of modern life. Deadlines, financial pressures, relationship strain, digital overstimulation, social comparison. These keep the sympathetic system activated in a way that it was never designed to sustain. Chronically elevated cortisol is one of the most destructive physiological states you can maintain. It suppresses immune function, making you more susceptible to illnesses and slower to recover. It disrupts your hormonal balance across the entire endocrine system, affecting thyroid function, reproductive hormones, and insulin regulation. It degrades gut lining integrity and alters the microbiome. It impairs memory consolidation and shrink the hippocampus, the brain region central to learning and emotional regulation. It also accelerates cellular aging at the genetic level. Research on telomeres, the protective caps on your chromosomes that shorten as you age, shows that chronic psychological stress measurably accelerates telomere shortening. You are not just feeling older under chronic stress, you are biologically aging faster. And because cortisol raises blood sugar, it increases blood pressure and promotes inflammatory signaling. Chronic stress is a direct driver of cardiovascular disease, metabolic disease, and accelerated neurodegeneration. So stress is not a soft tissue. It is a hard physiological one, all right? So let's talk about the nervous system and trauma. This is where we need to talk about something that goes beyond everyday stress. Trauma. Whether a single acute event or the accumulated weight of chronic adverse experiences can dysregulate the nervous system in lasting ways, not through weakness or lack of resilience, but through biology. When the nervous system is repeatedly activated without adequate resolutions or safety, it can become stuck in patterns of chronic activation or shutdown. What researchers like Dr. Stephen Porges describe through polyvagal theory as a dysregulated autonomic state. Now, in the state, the body perceives threat even in the absence of real danger. The window of tolerance, the zone in which we can think clearly, connect with others, and respond rather than react, narrows significantly. This is why trauma isn't just psychological experience. It lives in the body, and in healing, it requires working with the body, not just the mind. Now, this is the fun parts. This is why this is what we all want to know: how to regulate your nervous system. The research on your nervous system regulation is rich and actionable. Here's what works. Breath work is the fastest tool you have. Your breath is the only autonomic function you can consciously control, and it directly influences your heart rate, cortisol level, and nervous system state. Extended exhales activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Even 5 slow breaths. Inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 6 to 8. Measurably shifts your physiological state. Vagal practices, strengthening the parasympathetic responses over time. Cold water exposure, humming, singing, gargling, slow diaphragmatic breathing, and social connection all stimulate the vagus nerve and build nervous system resilience. And the next one is movement. It's very important, particularly rhythmic bilateral movement like walking, swimming, or cycling. It's been shown to down-regulate the stress response and support trauma processing. This is part of why somatic approaches to trauma healing are gaining strong research support. And the next one is social connection. This is one of the most potent regulators of the nervous system. Co-regulation is a process by which the presence of a calm, safe person literally settles another person's nervous system, is a biological reality, not just emotional comfort. Reducing chronic stressors matters as much as building regulation skills. So sleep, nutrition, movement, digital boundaries, workload. These are the structural interventions, not just lifestyle choices. We are on about building a regulated life, not just heal it. So nervous system health is not about eliminating stress. Stress in appropriate doses is adaptive. It builds resilience, focus, and capacity. The goal is regulation, the ability to move into activation when needed and return to calm when the threat has passed. That flexibility is what the research consistently identifies as the hallmark of a healthy, resilient nervous system. People who regulate well don't experience less stress. They recover from it faster. Their baseline is safety rather than vigilance. And that baseline held consistently over time, over many, many years, is profoundly protective for long-term health. This is trainable at any age with practice. So everything we've covered in this series, how you eat, how you move, how you sleep, the state of your gut, all of it is either supported or undermined by the state of your nervous system. You cannot supplement your way out of chronic stress. You cannot exercise your way out of it. You have to address it directly. So, learning to feel safe in your own body is not a luxury. It is the foundation of everything.